Hey there, neighbors. It's time for Good Bits. So, it's been a couple of days. This weekend was my birthday, and on Friday, went to lunch with my wife, spent the morning together, dropped off the kids at school, spent all day hanging out, running errands, picking up groceries, all that kind of stuff, and then picked the kids up from school. So I was gone all day and didn't really have a chance to sit down and find the stories and make the video and make it happen. So that was happening on Friday. And then yesterday, so my daughter is doing band, and so she was done with school like an hour and a half later than my son. And rather than have my wife and newborn wait an hour and a half during my newborn's like grumpy part of the day for the older sister, just decided that they should come home and I would go pick up the oldest kid. So in doing that, it crunched my day. I really had to make sure that I spent as much time as possible knocking out everything I need to get done for my job. And that didn't leave time for Good Bits yesterday. So picking back up today so that I get back in the habit. I'm not going to try to make sure I knock out the rest of these this week all the way through Friday. And then next week we'll get back to our ongoing streak, 5 days in a row. You'll get good bits. All right, so after all that, let's jump right into good bit number one. Good bit number one is that snow leopards are no longer on the endangered species list. They're still threatened. There's still a lot of conservation work that needs to be done, but I like this story because it shows that our efforts to focus on conservation and on endangered species does pay off from time to time. And so it's good news that we're seeing the snow leopard population increase and that there's less concern, immediate concern, about that species going extinct. So that's good bit number one. So good bit number two is a story out of California. First responders in Petaluma, they got a call that a lifeline had been triggered. So if you're not familiar, lifelines are little like necklace pendants that you wear around your neck, and if you're in trouble and you can't get to a phone, you press this and it basically calls 911 for you. They know where you live, and first responders come to your house to check on you. So firefighters, first responders in Petaluma, they get a call that a lifeline has been triggered. So they race to this house and find that the lady at the house, she has a lifeline, but she didn't trigger it on purpose. Somehow she accidentally brushed it against something. Somehow it wasn't her, though. And so she just told them she was fine, that she was waiting on her son to come by and help cook her dinner. And so while they were there, they had a little bit of extra time, and they decided, well, why wait? And they cooked her dinner for her. And I think this is just a great story because, a lot of times first responders are – this is a great story because first responders are held to a higher standard, and sometimes they don't reach that standard. When they do, we hear about that. And I think that's a good thing. But I also think it's a good thing to talk about those times when those first responders, the people that we know are putting their lives at risk, go out and do something like this where they are helping someone just because they can. And that's not an unusual story for first responders, but I thought that was a good bit worth sharing. Good bit number three is a story from Drake University in Iowa. So homelessness is, of course, a problem that we see in many places across our country, across the world. But students at Drake University decided to do something about that, and they created 3 tiny houses to help house homeless people in their community. And so, I'm always interested and excited to hear about innovative programs, things like that work with homeless people and don't treat them as a nuisance or a problem, but realize that they are people and they are people that have needs. And one of those needs is housing. So good bit number 3 is a story about the students at Drake University who have built tiny houses to help the homeless in their community. All right, so the fourth and final good bit. I'm doing an extra one today because I missed it on my birthday. And my sister-in-law, Julie, she sent me a story from Sydney where a guy was working on a house, and he was close to the beach, and he saw that there's a great white shark, looked like it got caught in a pool, and he was, oh, that's not good, but hopefully it'll work itself out. And so he goes about his business, and then is doing something and notices for a second time that this great white shark, I want to say that again, great white shark, is stuck on the beach. And so this guy decides to strip down to his underwear and go out into the water and pull this great white shark into the water. So you may say to yourself when you look at this story that this is, it's a tiny great white shark. It's still a great white shark. Have y'all seen Jaws? I'm not getting anywhere near a great white shark, no matter how big it is, pup, whatever. I'm staying away. So this guy got in the water, pulled the shark back out. Shark made it out safely. The guy made it out of the water safely. And it's a fun story. So I hope you enjoyed that extra good bit today. All right, so that's the final good bit. Hopefully these stories have been uplifting, have brightened your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. So until then, have a good one.